Are you interested in hyper-specific local area council parking drama? If you are, or if you've ever been to Brisbane, if you live in Brisbane, if you're interested in Australian cities, if in any way you care about parking and municipal services, this is the video for you. It's 2 days before Christmas, and I have to give a shit about the fact that my local council has decided to go with a new vendor that's the same vendor that has had an internal dispute that is currently spamming potentially hundreds of thousands of people with drama. Today, I will be summarizing for anyone who doesn't want to have to trawl through all the threads about this, the current issues that are perplexing to me about how we have currently gotten ourselves into a situation where a business seems to be trying to consolidate and change their business name, and someone internally in that company has been sending emails saying, actually, we're not doing that. Please disregard the official emails from us. So as a quick timeline, back on the 20th of December was when I first really noticed that this was happening, because I received an email. I park in Brisbane occasionally. Usually I don't use a car. I make an effort to instead use my motorbike because it is free. It's free and it's easy, and if you don't fear death while being on the road, it's just easier. So much better. And that means that I get all the automated messages, and I saw that CellOPark had sent everyone a message saying, hey, we're transferring to a new company name, new app, new whatever, to OPark. And I didn't think anything of this because why would I? The companies change names and amalgamate and all that, provided that all the data systems are above board. I don't care, because I am forced to use these systems anyway. Sure, it's just changing. Then, I think it was like the next day or so, everyone gets an email saying, please disregard the change to OPark. Your data has not been transferred over. The emails, as you can see in the screenshot I'm putting on screen, they're telling us that the data won't be transferred. It's not being transferred. And I found this very weird, because I knew it had already been transferred. And thousands of other people apparently have too. I literally went and confirmed my account and then deleted it because, honestly, I did not want to keep dealing with this drama. I will log in as a guest or use some other payment method. And the data was already transferred, and all of a sudden an email comes out saying, hey, that hasn't happened. It's not gonna happen. Why do you think it's happened? Whew. That started an amazing series of thoughts. The first Reddit thread comes out about this, and people are discussing how it's affecting them, and they're finding things like the company information, who owns what, all that kind of lovely stuff. And it turns out that these companies are owned by the same parent company, the same person is involved. So from our perspectives, it doesn't actually seem like a data breach, because our data was moved from like the same company into a new system within that same company. Like, sure, it's not great. I don't like it when that happens, but someone didn't hack into it and then just take our data and upload it to a rogue system. That's not what's happened. So far as we can see, a company has owned it. It's fine. It doesn't seem like a data breach. So why are we being told potentially that it is? And it just gets weird, and I think it's weird, and everyone's like, haha, or, you know, I'm going to complain to the council, or I'm going to complain to the university that also uses this system, all these things. People send letters, people call up, they try and get information, the council's just as confused as anyone else. People find that the council had apparently said that it is being transferred over, and then that was scrubbed. Apparently that no longer says it may have gone back up. It seemed like, okay, well, the Brisbane City Council, a literal government entity, is confirming this. I should probably just see that as the way it is going right now. There's no reason to question it. at this time. It was fun. I checked with my friends, I checked with my parents just in case they got caught up in it, made sure that they still had the app so that they could park without getting a fine. Also, these emails, the first weird one, said that they will no longer be responsible if we get fines for using the wrong app. And everyone's like, well, which app is it then? I don't want to fines for parking here, depending on where you are, because, time changes occur and then suddenly, you get a larger fine. They can run up to hundreds of dollars. It can be a major impact, and no one wants to accidentally do that. So people start screenshotting, they start saving, because if they have to go face a court because of a fine that wasn't their fault, they have to have evidence. So people start saving it. It's not really thought about much more. People just transfer it over or they delete their accounts, and we try and move on. Today, it is the 23rd of December. We are 2 days away from Christmas. I'm exhausted from the year. I'm just trying to relax. This is my first Monday where I've had really just chill. I don't have to do much. I grabbed some presents for my family. I'm getting ready to go see them. And for some reason, we all get another email. It happened this morning, 6 hours ago. Why are they doing it this time? Turns out the transfer that they were planning that could potentially affect millions of people, because there are 2.5 million people in this city, from Wednesday, the 25th of December. That is when they were doing the transfer over to the new system. From a systems perspective, that's just silly. You want to have a bunch of new potential users signing up for a new system that hasn't been stress tested, that no one was probably made aware of, on a day where everyone's going to go out to the parks and go outside and relax, because that's what we do in Brisbane, because it is a gorgeous place to be outside on Christmas. We're very lucky to have that. And you want to stress test that system and implement it on Christmas Day when no one's going to be at work, because I'm pretty sure you get triple time and a half or some crazy rates if you work on Christmas Day. Even if there wasn't a PR issue, that is a poor planning decision. That is very silly. Oof. So, we're 2 days out from this transition. People are already transitioning over to it. Apparently some people have been successfully using it. It's not really been an issue. Some people were reporting that they'd been signed up to the premium version, but, not everyone has been showing that, so I don't know what's going on there. Nothing can be confirmed or denied. I'm actually kind of interested because I live in Brisbane. I live in the Greater Council area. I should go out. Maybe I'll make a follow-up video and see if I can find one of the local meters, because if it was meant to be done from Christmas Day, those meters would have had to be updated with the information, because all of them have little CellOPark stickers and branding. So I would be interested to see if they'd already changed that over or not, because that is a tight deadline. Brisbane is not a small city by size. After the emails go out saying, hey, nothing's being transferred over, ignore that. Ignore what's actually happening. Ignore the council website. Everyone's like, oh, that sounds like a rogue internal person. Maybe we should disregard that email instead, because everyone else is saying we're transferring over. Not just that, but their Facebook page, which is a genuine PR output page for CellOPark, literally says, we are in the process of transitioning to a new and improved platform, OPark. They're showing it, they're admitting it, they're showing it's it's a plan, it's a public thing, it is just rudimentary, run-of-the-mill, okay, we're going to a new system. We all get the email this morning that tries to walk it back even further, because all the council is saying, it goes to OPark. A lot of universities, so University of Queensland and Sydney University, have confirmed that the emails were not a data breach. They said that they've talked to the vendor, they've confirmed that OPark is a system they're, transitioning users over to. They are, stating that the university's data is safe, that the students' data is safe, and they're confirming it. Very weird, hey? So we've got major institutions stating these things explicitly. If the Brisbane City Council one was scrubbed, It may have just been because it was a poor day to do it. Maybe they've changed how they want to do it. Maybe all those things could be, practicable to this. That makes sense. That's fine. But this next email blew me away. The official CellOPark account. Dear customer, further to our previous email, we would like to notify you that the Court of Competent Jurisdiction has issued a temporary injunction prohibiting the transfer of users from CellOPark to OPark. It's got like a Mean Girls voice to it, like that's some bitchy shit. Like, it sounds a bit, that's no PR person's writing that, but okay. Next sentence. The relevant municipalities, universities, as in they've put municipalities/universities there, have also been notified of this injunction. Where's the injunction? This is Australia. You would have a court order. The Courts Queensland website would probably have it. I've tried finding something like that. Can't find anything. If someone has found it, or it's, whatever, I will try and update it. We are confident that this will put an end to any prohibited requests or notifications to transfer to OPark. Whew. Prohibited transfer. They're trying to demand that it doesn't go. This sounds like right now, before I was reading about it further, I'm immediately going, this sounds like a disgruntled employee who wasn't included in a transfer process. That's my personal opinion from someone who has worked in various environments in Australia for my entire working life, so over a decade now. We assure you that CellOPark will continue to provide you with the same parking services as provided to date. Once again, we apologise for the inconvenience caused. Which is weird because, no one's saying that CellOPark was getting rid of it entirely. CellOPark owns OPark. The ASIC records show that CellOPark and OPark are the same, person, place, thing? The same person is, registered for them. They work together. It seems like a rebranding thing, perfectly above board. Not great, but whatever. It's just what happens with businesses. And if we live under a system that has those and they're following the rules, fine, whatever. But to say that they're just going to go with the same parking services as provided to date, but a bunch of these universities and council people are saying, hey, we were transferring. There's nothing wrong with that. We're all preparing. Here's the prep. Your data has already been transferred. What do you mean competent jurisdiction? What do you mean? Court of competent jurisdiction? Every court, theoretically, is the competent one. I'm no fan of the government, but I am going to have to assume, if I'm living in a civil society, that the courts are competent. Therefore, every court is competent. Therefore, just say whichever court it is, or just say the courts did it. This is where I start reading more and more of the comments, and some people are noting that this doesn't sound like it's written by an Australian or a PR person or a local or a disgruntled employee who might be Australian or in other ways. And some people are speculating, sometimes a bit blindly, because I'm not going to make comparisons and judgments about the parent company because I don't know enough about all those things. But people are pointing out that this is not how Australians write emails, that people are pointing out, that's not how we talk about courts, that's not how we talk about injunctions, that's not how we put out fires in a PR way here in this country. So it doesn't sound normal, and that's why people were thinking that these feel like scams, that someone has hacked into the systems and maybe hijacked the emails. I read through more and more of the comments, and even with the weird, American-style lettering, as an example, the word apologize is spelt with a Z. We don't spell it that way here, and we are actually quite adamant about keeping our own local vernacular. They're not using the word local council, they're saying the word municipalities. We don't use that word to refer to local councils. We use local councils, but I've never once heard something called a municipality without it being adapted for an outside audience. We use the term local councils. This isn't being written for an Australian audience. This is being written almost just putting out a fire. hey guys, stop transferring it over. It's already been transferred. We couldn't control that. We didn't control whether it's being transferred over. It's 2 days before Christmas. Why are you trying to get me to give a shit? None of us care. We're gonna just stop using it. So I'll put all links into the description. So, don't be mean. Don't just sign up and, try and invade too much. But keep an eye out. And if you need some help and you want to join that discussion, there's a platform for you there to help. I would honestly say go log in and check, because I had to go double check that my parents had not been affected and that they still have the ability to park in the city when they need to. I didn't want them to suddenly find that they couldn't use the parking and get caught up, because then I have to do the tech support in the middle of the road being like, hi, yep, download the app. Okay, fine, whatever. So I, preemptively tried to do that, which is a nightmare. I didn't want to do tech support during Christmas. All I wanted to do today was go and do a bit of gift shopping and then potter around the house. Nah, why are you doing this? They changed the system. They plan to change the system over Christmas. Someone has made it way more difficult than it needed to be. Everyone in Brisbane who's aware of it is like, nah, not happening. We don't care. We will just stop using the parking. We're not using this anymore. We'll just stop using it. We are so lazy. We are an incredibly lazy people, because why would you expend extra energy when you don't need to? It's 42 degrees outside sometimes. You got to preserve your energy for the absolute most important things. I got a motorcycle license just so I could avoid paying for parking to begin with. We're trying to just get normal services. If they wanted to be run in Australia and have Australian data on Australian shores, I support that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. What seems to be the issue is that this one rogue employee or member or someone or whoever, they're just making it more difficult. I hope this video has explained any amount of it, maybe summarized it for you. There's a lot of information on the threads. There's a lot of PR things that have come out. Check your local news, support local journalism, and make sure that you keep up to date with it. If you find that you need the account, make sure you go, either transfer it over or figure out what you need to do in your local area that applies to you. As consumers, we're kind of limited, and it feels like they're treating the businesses that pay these people to be the vendors are also being treated just as badly as us. They're being made to, put out endless statements. The university shouldn't be having to put out big statements and do investigative, access work on a parking situation. I'm at another level. The Christmas time has sent me insane. I'm out of it. I hope that this drama brings more entertaining aspect. I hope it doesn't get sinister. I hope it remains entertaining. And I hope you enjoyed this video.